Welcome, theater addicts. My name is Danielle Benson, and I am here with Kira Barnes, and her show is TravelTheatrics by Standing Room Only Productions, and they're at the Havana this year at the Vancouver Fringe. So welcome, Kira.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. Tell us about, I believe this show, it's new, but you've just done a performance of it somewhere else. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's a new solo show, and I just had the world debut of it in Winnipeg, in the Fringe Festival there. So that was a wonderful experience, and now I'm thrilled to bring the show to Vancouver for the first time.
Are you a Fringe connoisseur, or is this your? I mean, you obviously just did Winnipeg Fringe, so you're not a virgin anymore. But how many other Fringe experiences have you had, or was Winnipeg your first one?
I'm kind of new on the circuit. I've been doing Fringe for about 3 years.
Okay.
So I do another solo show. It's called Almost a Stepmom, and I've been touring that show around Canadian Fringe festivals in Western Canada for the past 3 years. But I kind of only do 1 or 2 Fringes a year. I don't live my life touring around the Fringe circuits. So yeah, still pretty new, but have a few under my belt. So kind of in the middle.
Call that kind of a middle veteran.
Middle ground. Middle veteran. I like that.
There are a lot of people who are brand new, so you're definitely not one of those.
No.
You've been around the block a couple of times, but you're not.
But I'm not like
a
seasoned yet either. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's your favorite thing about Fringe?
The community. It's just a lovely way in which to bring people together and to support the arts and to put some money in the pocket of artists as well and give them a platform to share their stories.
Canadian Fringe specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've done any Fringe.
I haven't done any outside of that, no.
Canadian Fringe is unique in that.
Yes.
That like Fringe festivals in the other parts of the world are a lot more like just regular theater. I mean, they're still very fringy, but they're not as supportive of the artists.
No.
As the Canadian Fringe Association has done something really special here.
We've got the best Fringe festival circuit in the world, I think. It's structured to allow artists to be able to tour around, which does support them financially. People can live off that money for the entire year if you have a good circuit. Another wonderful aspect of the Canadian Fringe circuit is that we offer billets. So members of the community volunteer to host an artist, and that is another way to have a financially sustainable life as an artist by staying in people's houses for free and then creating those community connections, which is lovely. Yeah.
And it's funny because we've been doing quite a few interviews, and the answer almost always when we ask people what their favorite thing about the Fringe is, it's almost always the community. But it's designed that way. Canadian Fringe is designed to create community, and the arts world isn't always about community. It's often quite kind of cliquey. So just the Fringe world it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great to see people coming out and supporting the arts because it doesn't always happen that way. So Fringe festivals are great for bringing everybody out to see theater. Yeah.
So tell us a bit about this show. You're you're feeling comfortable with it now because you've already done it at Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But tell us about it, how the process of how it came to be, maybe.
Oh, well, so TravelTheatrics, it is a solo storytelling show in which I enact 6 of my travel experiences from around the world with 15 characters and 3 animals. Tales of adventure and romance and near death across the globe. I've been sitting on these stories since I was 6, some of them.
Wow.
So they've been stories throughout my life that have impacted my perspective in some way, and there was a nice link between all the stories to create a production out of it, and so I set to work doing that earlier this year.
So if you've been traveling for that long, are there some stories that didn't make it in? Maybe there'll be another show later.
Tons.
Yeah.
This is only 6 countries. I've been to 33 countries. So there's a lot of stories that haven't made it in there. So these stories really focus on moments of connection that have impacted my perspective in some way. And really what the play is about the pursuit of self-confidence and realizing your passion and having the courage to pursue that, and all of these stories aligned with those themes, hence why they're in the play.
I'm kind of going off topic from the play for a moment, but I'm just really curious about this whole traveling to so many countries. Do you typically travel by yourself or with friends or with family, or is it a mix of everything?
Mix of everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really have one way of doing it. I've done all of those things that you just mentioned.
Okay, cool. Are some of the stories a little harrowing, or do you keep it light?
There's both. There are harrowing stories, for sure. And then other ones that are sweet. There's one from a childhood. So, yeah, and then near-death experiences and romantical encounters. Romantical, is that a word?
Now.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's a variety of stories. It's a roller coaster ride.
Will you do another one? Like with other stories that...
I think, in the future, I think I'm good for now.
Yeah.
And in the future, I could definitely see there being a TravelTheatrics 2. There's a lot more stories I'm sitting on, so, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about standing room only theater, how it came to be, what your mandate is.
Yeah,
anything
so
special?
Standing Room Only Theater was formed by myself and my two friends back in 2015, and we have produced a lot of shows as part of the Vancouver Celtic Festival. We've done a lot of shows with Celtic themes in them.
Oh, cool.
And this play, one of the stories is actually set in Ireland. So yeah, we kind of haven't done main stage shows in a while. It's been more producing my fringe shows under the company name. But we got something cooking, so I won't say anything more about that just yet.
Oh, that was going to be my next question. Anything coming up with Standing Room Only Theater?
Yes, but it's not. It's still in the works, so I can't talk about it yet.
Okay, well, that's just going to get everyone excited. So just stay tuned. I'm assuming you got a website or social media and stuff.
Yes.
Watch that. We'll put the links.
You can always check out kirabarnes.com as well for any and all updates on everything that I'm doing.
Great. So have you performed at the Havana before? Can you tell us a bit about the venue?
Yeah, I've performed twice at the Havana. I did the Mystery Plays in 2016 with Little Mountain Lion Productions, directed by Madeline Osborne. And then in 2017, I did my other solo show, Almost a Stepmom, which was part of the Vancouver Celtic Fest, and it was at the Havana Theatre.
It's quite an intimate space.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about the Havana?
I love the intimate space. But it's not. So last year I also did Almost a Stepmom in the Vancouver Fringe in Arts Umbrella, and that is a 30-seater, and that is intimate. Almost too intimate because it is like a sauna in there, and I was dripping onto the ground with sweat. Havana is a little bit roomier and not as sweltering. But this play, it is quite an intimate storytelling play. Even though I'm enacting all of the characters, there's a lot of moments of connection with the audience, and I think Havana is going to be a really ideal venue for that. There's candles on the stage. I interact with the audience a lot, and I think it's going to be a perfect little space to have it. In Winnipeg, I was in a 220-seater, and it was just a little large for gaining that intimate connection with people who are way at the back. So I'm excited to have them right there with me.
Because it's more like storytelling, this kind of feels.
It's a genre, it's a mix of storytelling and theater.
Yeah.
So it weaves in and out of both.
Yeah.
And there's also like rhyming verse in it. So it's kind of a large genre mix.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you said you play a bunch of characters and 3 animals.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite character? Is that giving too much away? Can I ask that?
Ooh. Oh, I have so many favorites.
Make you choose.
There is a girl from university who's a paranormal enthusiast. She's probably one of my favorites to play. I also play my uncle, John, a dairy farmer in Ireland. He's pretty fun. Yeah. And of the animals, there's a extremely sassy chicken.
Nice.
So that's my favorite animal. Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to see the sassy chicken. I'm so sold. So this is your opportunity. I know that show descriptions are written months and months and months before the Fringe happens, sometimes before the show has been born.
Yeah.
So this is your opportunity to talk to the audience directly, tell them a bit more, like what do they really need to know about your show and why should they come see you?
Yeah. So TravelTheatrics, it's about my journey discovering the world one country at a time since I was 6. And it involves realizing my passion and then running away from it. And through traveling and through escaping what I really wanted to do, it brought me exactly back to where I needed to be, and encountering wonderful people along the way who shaped my perspective and my person and my views on the world. And I think that is a meaningful thing that I've experienced that other people perhaps have also experienced, that people will be able to relate to in the play, regardless of whether you've traveled or not. And it's about a lifelong pursuit of gaining self-confidence, which is something I'm still on the road to doing, and I'm sure a lot of people will understand as well. So if any of those things sound any way relatable to you, I think you should come and see my show.
I think that's fantastic, because I often tell people that theater is like traveling without needing to leave your hometown, because you're getting to experience all these different places and these different people. So this is kind of a combination of both. It's fantastic. And there is nothing like traveling and like trying on other people's perspectives to really help you grow and figure out who you are and what you like and what you don't like, and get a really strong sense of self. There's nothing like that in the world. So it's really great that you're bringing that to something that's kind of like traveling already, and then you get the extra.
And it's like solo females, you know, traveling around the world. I think that's always a great thing. I want to always be going out there and supporting females who are going out there and seeing the world. So there's stories about that and harrowing situations I've gotten into that maybe I've learned a thing or two from that I can tell you not to do. Plus stay safe. Plus I have an amazing director, Melissa Wee. So just come and see it, because she has touched it with her magic. She's wonderful. So I'm so proud and happy to have had her on board.
That was going to be my question, because you wrote it.
Yes.
You are performing it, but you also have a director and a sound designer.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what it was like assembling the team and what it was like working with these folks?
Yeah, so I had Melissa in mind to direct it from the start. Not only is she a good friend and an amazing artist, she is also an avid traveler, also a solo female who gets out there and travels the world. On top of that, she at the time was really involved in storytelling and doing a lot of storytelling events around town, and she had that knowledge behind her. And so and plus just the thought of being able to see her numerous times a week in rehearsal was quite alluring. So she was my first person in mind, and I approached her and was so thankful when she read the script and loved it and said yes. And then figuring out the next person I needed, we decided that sound would be a really important part of the show. There's about 60 sound cues now. I had envisioned maybe having about 6. And we brought on CJ McGillivray, who I've worked with recently on a production called Mr. Burns, post-electric play. We were both in that here on Granville Island earlier this year, and I knew she was an award-winning sound designer and asked her to come on board, and she brought the show from here to here, giving me so many options and amazing sound composition. So I'm so lucky to have these two amazing ladies on board working with me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to say before I wrap it up?
TravelTheatrics plays at the Havana Theater September 6th to 16th. You can check out TravelTheatrics on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram for any more information. And I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.
This is Kira Barnes. I'm Danielle Benzin. Thank you so much, and we will see you at the Fringe.
Bye.